Hello guys and welcome back. Today I'm starting my last week with you guys, so I have a couple more videos from the week to help you get through what we're going to go over. Today we are just going to review what we went over last week, so we're just reviewing parallel and perpendicular lines. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send one of us an email. We want to help. We don't want you to be lost. Just make sure you ask the question specifically. And once you're done with this video and you finish the work, you guys can have a great rest of your day, and I hope quarantine is treating you well. Okay? So to start, parallel lines. Ooh, I'm twisting things. I'm normally better at this. There we go. Okay? Parallel lines are two lines that will never meet. They will always have the same slope. So the slope of line 1 and the slope of line 2 are going to be equal, and m will equal m. Okay? And then an example of what the graph of parallel lines will look like is here. I'm going to zoom in on it. If you notice as I draw through this, how far I'm going left to right is the same throughout the entire graph. They never get closer, and they will never touch. Okay. So, and we're going to go through an example. We're going to write what is the equation of a line that is parallel to the line y equals 3x minus 5 and passes through 1, 3. So if it's parallel, the slope is going to be the same. So my slope in this, and my point is 1, 3. Okay? So my slope, since it's going to be the same, m equals 3. Now, again, I just have to put it into point-slope form and then transform it into slope-intercept form, because our final answer has to be in slope-intercept form. So a reminder of what point-slope form is: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm going to label that point up there x1, y1, and we'll start plugging things in. So y minus 3 equals 3 times x minus x1, which is 1. I will distribute my slope. Y minus 3 equals 3 times x is 3x. Minus 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And my last step is to add 3 to both sides. Okay. Y equals 3x. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so 3x plus 0, or y equals 3x. Okay? So nice and simple. We just want to take the same exact slope, plug it in down here, and then solve for our slope-intercept form. All right? Next, perpendicular lines, which we're not supposed to be at the example yet. We're supposed to be down here. Perpendicular lines. These are two lines that will meet at a right angle. They will always have slopes that are negative reciprocals of one another. So the m of line 1 equals negative 1 over m of line 2. So an example of this, if m of line 1 equals 2, m of line 2, negative 1 over 2 equals that m. Okay, and the graph of two perpendicular lines is going to look something like this. They even drew the right angle on this picture. We'll always have a 90-degree right angle between them, and it'll look like it crossed in an X motion. So now an example that we're going to work through for perpendicular lines. What is the equation of the line that is perpendicular to the line y equals 2x plus 1 and passes through 4, 3? So my slope of my original line is 2, and we're going to be working with this point 4, 3. So to start, my slope of this line is going to be negative 1 over whatever the slope was for that. The slope for that was positive 2. So my slope for this line equals negative 1/2. Okay? Now I'm just going to put this in point slope form. Again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I will label my point x1, y1, and we'll just start plugging things in. So y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 times x minus x1 is 4. I will distribute my slope out. Okay. Y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 x. Negative 1/2 times negative 4 becomes positive 2. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And my final answer, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. So a line perpendicular to y equals 2x plus 1 is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. All right, my last equation of the day for us to do: determine which of the following lines, if any of them, are parallel or perpendicular. So I purposely wrote these in 3 different colors so that we can go through them, determining the slopes, and figure out if we're good. So line A, y equals 8x minus 5. My slope in this one, the m, equals 8. Okay, now I can move to line B in the red. Line B, y equals 1/8 x plus 1. My slope for this one, my m, equals 1/8. So these aren't going to be parallel, and they're not going to be perpendicular because 8 and 1/8 have the same sign. They're both positive. So let's try line C. I have to do some manipulating. 8x plus y equals 2. I have to get y by itself to determine my slope, so minus x values. Y equals negative 8x plus 2. My slope in this one, my m, equals negative 8. Well, it's not parallel to either of these because negative 8 and 8 are not the same value, but it is perpendicular to line B because negative 8 is the negative reciprocal of 1/8. So my final answer, I'm going to come back up here to write it. Lines B and C are perpendicular. Okay. So that was just a nice quick review for you guys. If you have any questions about anything, go back over the video, go back over your notes. Let us know if you need any help with anything through a comment or an email. The only thing we ask is please do not just say, I don't get anything, because we can't help you if you don't understand anything, okay?